Right, hi guys, welcome to season 4 of iRacing. This season I'm going to attempt to do something that I've not yet given any thought to, and that is the Division Championship. So I noticed halfway through last season that I was racing and holding my own with some of the top guys in Division 1 in the IMSA Michelin Pilot Series, driving the touring car. Now I'm still in Division 2 and I think I've got a pretty good shot at winning this division. So it is a bold statement, I'm aware of that, but I'm saying it now because I'm going to document the full season and I'm going to upload one race per week to the channel. I've done one race this week already. It was a new circuit for me. It was Oran Park, which is a great little Australian touring car circuit, I believe. Qualifying was okay. I was able to avoid all the drama at the start, and we finished in P2. So at the time it also put me P2 in the division. I've now been knocked down to P4, but it's still a pretty good starting point, I think, considering that I didn't know it. So that's it basically. I hope that you stick with me on the journey, and I hope that I can stay in the fight right through the season. And if you're watching this for the first time, I'd love it if you could subscribe and come along for the journey. And then if I can help you get a little bit quicker or a little bit more competitive, or if you can give me any tips on the way I'm driving, then for me that's what this sort of thing is all about. So enough from me, let's get into it. Thanks for tuning in. Right, here we go then. So yeah, not the best qualifying. We're down in P7. I'm in negative I rating. I'm not too concerned. I think I can go a little bit quicker than the guys around me, hopefully. Unfortunately, the first race I did this week, the audio didn't record. So this is actually my second race here. So I've already picked up a P2 finish and 120 championship points. So this is not that race, but we will see if we can better it, if possible. But the goal here is just to have a good race and hopefully get into positive I rating, and we'll just see what happens. Friday night in the UK, so it could be a bit of a messy one. We'll just see how it goes. Pick up places where we can, try and stay out of trouble. Great circuit, I do like this.
P7. The air temp is 27 Celsius.
It suits the car well. Not so much the GT4s, I don't think. They do seem to struggle.
Follow car number 15.
So 24 negative at the moment. Probably need to pass 2 or 3 cars to get into positive. So like I say, that will be the goal. Just the final sector of a very short circuit, so there's not much time to give a gap for the GT4s. We're going to go green any second.
Green, green, green.
And there was a big pile up on this straight in race 1.
Right side. Still there. Hold your line. Clear right.
Yellow flag, caution.
There's a car on your right side, clear on the right.
Well done, Duncan. Good start.
There's a car on your left side, all clear left.
Already crazy. Avoided what we could in that one. Right in the thick of it with the GT4s here though, unfortunately. Hopefully they'll pull a little bit. The ones behind me can come through. I'm not going to try and hold them up. Didn't realise I got past that many there. Not sure of the strength of field. Race Lab has been a little off with that lately, I'm not sure why. It was somewhere in the mid-3s when I looked, but I think it's probably more like mid to high 2s. I'm not sure. Just giving enough distance here at number 24. I don't want to lose too much ground to Caesar behind, but I think it's inevitable while I'm stuck here. P1 and 2 are side by side ahead. BM's ooh, a little twitchy there. So Caesar's right on me there. Cayman coming through. Keep an eye on him behind. Don't know if you can see that mirror above me, but I've got my eye on it. He's probably going to go on my inside now. So I'll just ease off. Let him have that. Rejoin from the pits. There's somebody dead already.
Hold your line, right side, clear right.
I think that's me up to P2.
Left side. Still there. Hold your line, still there.
Not deliberately challenging this guy,
Hold
just
your line.
wrong place.
Still there, still there. Clear left. There's a car on your right side. You are clear on your right side.
Yellow flag, watch out.
Wow, just
P2.
absolute death everywhere. Hopefully this will settle down.
Okay, Duncan, hold your nerve, just keep it smooth, no mistakes. There's a faster class car behind. That was 115.40.
I hope Caesar's patient. I'm having to be. I can go much faster than this, but it's just not an option at the moment.
The gap behind is now 0.9.
Got a car on your left. Line clear to your left.
I actually thought that was Caesar dive bombing me there. I was a little bit
Faster cars approaching.
shocked, shall we say, but it's my mistake. If I'd have known, I wouldn't have sort of semi-defended that. I'd have just let him have it into that final corner. Back end stepping out slightly there. So these three GT4s are worrying me a little bit, if I'm honest. The white one especially, very loose on the back end it seems. Cayman's in a bit of a rush. Meanwhile, P1 of the touring cars is off into the distance.
That lap time was 112.44.
Idiots, man. Got no confidence in this guy whatsoever. This car's all over the place. He's collided with the white BMW already. Not sure who was to blame, but we need this guy to die or get out the way.
Just done a 113.59. Okay, Duncan, there's a faster class car approaching. Don't let this guy distract you.
Got a car on your right side. Still there. The right side's clear.
Is he going to slow me down? Is he going to let me go? What a guy. What a guy. Thanks, buddy.
Faster car behind.
So again, credit where it's due, GT4 drivers get a lot of stick, usually from me, but that's really good driving. He knew he wasn't in the race ahead, so he's backed out, let me in, sees a battle. So yeah, P1's pretty much gone, we've got no chance of that one, unless he makes a big mistake. See if we can keep Caesar behind for as long as possible. I'm not really bothered about losing that position. Like I said, I've got 120 points for the championship in the bag for a P2 finish, and I'm not sure of this strength of field, so I don't think I'm going to get more than 120 for this position anyway, so that will stand, that result.
Cars behind, they're racing for position. 20 minutes remaining, you've got 20 minutes left. Your times are good in all three sectors.
So if that result stands, there's no point risking a DNF for one position. Like I said, last season I probably would have, just thinking about nothing but iRacing, but with my championship head on, I will be picking my battles. Looks like he's got pretty good pace, Caesar, as well.
There's a group of faster cars bearing down on you. These guys are scrapping for position.
It's not my best lap, this one, but I think he's got the legs on me, to be honest. His car's damaged as well, so I think I've had a little bit of contact early doors, but apart from that, not much. Difficult one to pass though, I'm certainly not just going to give him it.
There's a group of faster cars behind you. They're racing for position. That lap was at 112.21.
The little squeeze mid-corner there is just to settle the car. If you're not familiar with this car, it's a little bit lively on the back end under braking at times, so sometimes you do need to have a little squeeze of the throttle. It's counterintuitive, but it does settle it down a bit. And it's kind of all about just easing that throttle on. You don't want to plant your foot mid-corner because it will just understeer out. You just got to ease it on. Smoothness is key, really, is what I'm trying to say. Front wheel drive. So there's a lot going on at the front end, you can't really shock it with too much. .7 seconds to Joaquin, then P1.
You've just done it on 11.85.
Actually thought he was much further ahead than that. So we'll see what happens with these GT4s, catch him, because if P1's there for the taking, I'll have a go. Like the guy in my last race, Noah, I think he's actually leading the championship, got 145 championship points for a P1 finish, and he's 2.7k iRating, I believe, so I'm a little bit higher, 3k, but I reckon if I got P1 in this split,
Okay, Duncan, don't let this guy distract you.
then I would get more than 120, so maybe worth the risk there if it presents itself. Certainly don't need to push for it though. It's our GT coming through.
12.18.
Back end's getting a little, a little twitchy. I don't know what happened there, but Caesar's been caught up in it, unfortunately.
The front is now 4.1.
Checking my mirrors too much there. So Joaquin's extending his lead. Not sure if Caesar was caught with contact, but he was certainly involved in terms of being slowed down by that GT. Don't know if he just lost it under braking and ended up sideways.
The gap behind is now 1.5.
Not sure if we're halfway yet. So as a little rule of thumb, I tend to give the brake bias a nudge forward at the halfway point, just to keep the weight over the fronts as the grip drops off a little bit.
The lap time was 1:12.00. Sector 1 is 2.5 off the pace.
Something to try maybe.
Alright Duncan, 15 minutes left.
There
That's
we go.
15 minutes.
So that's the halfway point,
You're
so
halfway home. Got
give it
plenty
a
of fuel.
little nudge forward then. Tyre wear does come into play. So we'll keep an eye on the relative, see if that 4 seconds comes down.
At the moment, that lap time was 1:11.73.
I'm not 100% sure of the correct line through there. little bit too much inside curve. So the gap is actually coming down a little bit to Joaquin up front, but not enough, I don't think. Not enough, so we'll just...
The lap time was at 1:12.00.
Take it steady.
Okay, Duncan, lap times are pretty consistent.
Caesar's closed the gap, I think. So really leaning on the brakes, trail braking well into the apex of the corners at this stage of the race. Whether it's right or not, I don't know, but it's the way I find it. Handles, oh, that's a cut. The best, I got away with that. I thought that'd be an X. Not sure what my instants are for the race. I don't think there's many. I think there was a little bit of 0x contact earlier, and I think I looked up and saw one, which might have been an off track, but
You're matching race pace. That last lap was
not
at
100% sure.
1:11.75. Okay, Duncan, you've used half your fuel.
Don't like crew chief talking to me there when I cross the line and talking over the sound of the engine, so I might have to look at that.
The gap behind is now 1.0 seconds.
Just had to look down and see if I was in fifth, because I didn't get an audible sort of note when I shifted, because Jim was nattering. So it's all getting a little bit busy in front now. Gaps are closing. GT4s will start closing in on Joaquin. Obviously, front wheel drive touring car will struggle more over the course of the race in the rear drive Cayman and BMW. 3 seconds, he's lost a second there. So is he going to start overdriving?
1:11.77.
He'll be aware of that gap. Oh, that's wide. That's not good. Pressure's on now from behind. There's actually a GT4 coming through as well, so this isn't going to be timed well for me. Pressure from Caesar.
That's 10 minutes left.
And pressure from the faster class wanting to get through.
Hold your nerve. Make them do the work.
I was on the brakes earlier there, but I struggled to get that slowed down.
Sector 1 is 0.33 off the pace. You're a tenth off the pace in Sector 2. Sector 3 is 2/10 off the pace.
So I think this GT4 actually let Joaquin go there. Put himself wide to let him go through. Lost a couple of positions himself, and we've got more to do if we want to get past. That was probably our only chance of scraping a lucky P1 there, I think. It was if Joaquin was to get held up, and he's clear of them, so I think that's off the table now. Let's just do what we can with this. GT4's challenging Caesar behind. That has gone past. out of shape on that one.
Yellow flag, keep your wits about you, mate.
Just had to hold the brakes there, wait to see which way he was going to go, and we got lucky again. Happy to let Emil go now if he wants to.
On your left. Still there. All clear to left.
The gap behind is now 0.8.
So we'll see how this works really. If this is a higher strength of field than my first race and I finish in the same position and the guy who wins is a higher I rating than Noah was, then I believe my championship points may be more than 120, but I'm not sure and we first have to get there. So let's just try and get the job done. They're definitely not as good on the brakes, these guys. Whether it's the car or them, I'm not sure. Can't be long left now.
Your last lap time was at 1:12.90. Okay, Duncan, don't let this guy distract you. Five minutes to go, you're looking good for a podium.
Could do with this guy letting me go really. He's not in the fight with the Cayman anymore, I don't think. Don't think he's going to though.
That lap was at 1:13.05.
It's not many points to overtake here, so if I can keep that covered and probably the final turn and maybe this one if he gets close enough, then we should be okay. It depends how aggressive he is, I suppose. He's a lower I rating than me looking at his car number, so he's probably happy with his position. So if he's sensible, they might hold it, but depends how much he wants them points, doesn't it? If it was a race win, I'd expect him to go for it, but it's on the podium either way.
10 minutes of fuel remaining.
Luckily, I think we get a decent enough exit there, so he's not in a position, and we've got the draft from
Sector 2 is
Jacob.
0.30 off the pace.
It was a sloppy one for me there on turn in. Missed the apex. sort of semi-defensive into there. Just to let him know it's not there for the dive bomb if he fancies it. You never know. Close right up there. He's apologised for nothing, almost hitting me. So that tells me everything I need to know. He's not risking anything here.
Just 2 minutes left, 2 minutes to go.
Probably 2 laps then, possibly 3.
Sector 2 is 0.42 off the pace.
So 2 races here so far, and hopefully this will be the last of them. Assuming I've got audio this time. I did say I would upload one every week. It might not be the result, the one that I upload, the best result, but it'll be hopefully the best race is what I'll do. And keep an eye on the championship as we go. But oh dear, sloppy. Have to defend this now. It does seem to be quite a messy circuit.
That was a 112.59.
A lot of incidents on the first lap. On both races, pretty much had to park it on the apex there. Just missing a few apexes here at the wrong time. Caesar might fancy this.
All right, Duncan, one more to go. Keep it together, we'll be on the podium.
I was too busy watching there. I was just checking if it was Joaquin. So I might slide into P1 there on the final lap. Ooh, Jesus. That's twice that's bit me. Hanging the wheels out a little bit too wide in the braking zone. So another good result that. Happy with that. Well done, Joaquin.
Well done, Duncan. Great drive. That's a podium.
Good racing from Caesar as well. So let's have a little look at the start because we did get pretty lucky. Tam livery on the paintwork, by the way, if you want to check Tam out. He's got a Facebook page. You can get him on Discord. He's got 3-tier packages for your paint if you're interested in getting a custom paint job. Really nice guy. Really easy to work with. You can go back and forward quite a lot. Here we go, look at all these parked. Jesus. Really good though. Cautious racing from most people. Didn't see him till late. This guy's got a wheel off. Avoided that one quite nicely. Okay, so due to the fact that I lost that game audio then from race 1, I had to run another one there at Oran Park, and I'm glad that I did, because I've just improved and picked up 140 points there for that P2 finish you just saw. And looking at the table, that's going to put me back up into P2 and only 5 points behind the leader, more importantly. So I'm really pleased with that. So we now move on to next week. So if you like the video, give us a thumbs up. I would appreciate that. And if you'd like to follow me through the championship push, then consider subscribing to the channel. And we'll see you at race 2. Thanks for watching.